Hi guys, and welcome to another video. This time around I would like to show you how to take the carburetor out, which might seem like quite a task to start with, but you'll see that it's not that bad, and with a little bit of fiddling about you can take it out, and well, I would assume that if you're taking it out you would like to clean it. So I got my seat off already. We'll start off by taking the tank off. So the first thing to remove is your speedo housing. 3 screws on this model, and then followed by just one nut, one bolt for the main tank. Disconnect a few things which I'll show you in a second, and that's pretty much it. So let's crack on. So we're starting off with the simplest part, which is taking the speedo housing off the tank. When you're taking the housing off, there is a cable loom underneath, hooked under the tank mount. So all you need to do is just slide your hand underneath, lift it up slightly, and just slide it to the right hand side. There you go. So that was underneath here. All there's left to do, take the rubber protective rubber off, squeeze the connector, and take it off. There we go. So that's one thing out of the way. Following from that, loosen the bolt. There we go, but don't take it out yet. Right, so next thing we want to do is to lift that clip over here, lift it up. That will free up the fuel hose, and we need to unplug it from here. There is a tiny clip which you can grab, squeeze and pull back. There we go. That pulls it back from the actual its actual location. Pull the hose out gently, hold, squeezing it a little bit, and now it's full of fuel. So to plug it, some people recommend Golf T. I went with something much easier and accessible to any biker pretty much, which is an earplug. Just roll the earplug, put it in, let it expand, and it will soak with fuel, but it will not drip, so you can pretty much just let it hang down. I never do though, because when I have a little bit of space I always lift it up so it's in the it's facing upwards. But that's a really neat trick to actually plug up your fuel line. Next, you want to unplug. You have if you still have your pair valve, you'll have that 3-way plastic piece. You want to unplug that from the fuel valve. So just slide it off. That frees up the valve, which is attached to the tank. And over here, in a bracket, in a mounting piece, you have your idle screw. So just push it downwards. It jumps out, and that would be pretty much it in terms of disconnecting things to allow yourself to take the tank off. So once we have the fuel line and the assembly over here unplugged, so remove the screw. And I did forget, there is one more sneaky thing here. If I lift it up, hopefully you'll see there is a cable that's not very long, so you have to disconnect that as well, which is a simple clip. Once that clip is off, you can slide the tank backwards and lift it up. Right then, so having the tank off, I probably will remove these as well because they don't need these. That can stay on. Right, that out of the way. First thing you want to do is to remove the hose. It's being held with two clamps. One is on the carb side, the other one is on the filter side. Both of them are mounted the same way. There is one screw for each. You unscrew it, expand the clamp. It comes off from here and comes off from there. That's one. And the other one would normally be squeezed somewhere there. Go. So you loosen this clamp, that comes out as well, and there's one more thing that's holding it down, which is a hose going here into the big one. That comes from the it's all convoluted in here. But anyway, you need to take this off. So it's clamped down. Depending on who was doing it beforehand, if anybody, it might be a little bit difficult to take the clamp off. Once you do it once, it becomes a bit easier. Slide it off. There we go. And that frees it up. And what I tend to do is just you rotate it, take that clamp down off, and keep rotating it. Just give it a little bit of a squeeze. Basically, yeah, we didn't need that clamp. Once you give it a good squeeze, you can take the whole thing out completely if it wants to come out. Now there we go. that enables you to have an inspected. It's very flexible, so it, depending on the age of the bike, I think you could expect cracking or anything like that. But for me, it's all good. That's parts that will not get in our way again. And I need to change the glove. Right, having removed the hose, we have a few things to unplug. First one being that connector here. There we go. And that only came out so easy because I've done it before. That was stuck like crazy and I really struggled with it. The second one is the air vent, which is just a pipe. Normally I think it's routed something like that, but I had it routed into that hole, so it's not in the way. Just take that off. And we have the throttle and clutch cables. To undo these. Go. And that's a bit fiddly as well to take out. Because you need to slide them out from the groove, and they are ever so resistant. Well, this one is not too bad because it's not curved very much. The other one, however, it's an absolute pain in the butt, because it curves all the way around and hooks up here. If somebody has a good way of taking these out, I'd be more than willing to listen, because it is very unwieldy the way that's done. Well, actually that wasn't too bad. Might be getting better at this. Right, so having those two off, we're starting to get less and less things to unplug, which is a very good thing. Right, not sure how visible that would be, but we have these electrics here, and they go in 3 places. 2 are over here, and the 3rd one is over here. That's for the heater. So if you could start disconnecting them. So that's one. There's a second, it's over here, and the 3rd one is right next to it. There you go. So that's out. 3 of them. So we don't need that anymore. That's disconnected. So I believe if we'll loosen up the main clamp of the carb, which is reachable thereabouts from here, it's basically to reach into the bottom of the carb, how it sits on the engine, and it's the same kind. So it's one screw that loosens the clamp. Make sure that the oil is not in it's not in a way or anything, and if you just give it a gentle tug, regulate, there we go. It's starting to come out. Now don't pull too hard, because it's a few things might be still connected to it, this one being one of them. And on the other side we have the plunger. So if we'll start with the plunger sits, it's right here, this one. That little fella is responsible for when you pull your choke out. So, let's disconnect it. There you go. It's not too big. And and to disconnect that little fella as well, which is a oh God, I don't even know what it is. It needs to come off though. So clamp off. And that's the one that sits really tightly on it, so just give it a bit of a push, maybe more. It's not exactly a bad thing that they are so sitting so tightly in, because that's exactly the way we want them. And just try to slide it down from the pipe, because it's a bit of a long one and it expands as well. That's why it's so difficult to push it down. Make sure you don't damage it as well as you go along. There we go. And that is your carburetor out. And that's it really. So it wasn't so hard. Just a bit of jiggery pokery. So then, with your motorcycle gutted, since you've pulled out the heart, now you can crack on with disassembly of the actual carb and to perform the clean. I've done it once, I clearly haven't done it right. I will be doing it again. I will be recording a video how to disassemble it as well, so stay tuned for that as well. It should come really soon, since I have it off now. While you have the carb off, it is well, I'm troubleshooting. I'm looking for a problem while mine's running poorly. So I'll be checking all the vacuum lines going all the way to the vacuum pump. Checking all the hoses for cracks. Still not leaking, by the way. That's soaked but not leaking. So normally I would just put it back in here. Under the clip. There we go. So you have free access to inspect your bike, your engine from the top. That's pretty much it. I hope that was useful. That's my second time I've done it. I still struggled with a few bits and pieces, although it has been a little bit better. I'll show you how to disassemble that in my next video. Point out all the parts that I've learned to pay attention to in terms of cleaning. I'll be most likely soaking everything in the carb cleaner solution as well over a prolonged period of time, just to rule out any anything that would be within the carb that would be causing my bike to run as it does, and hopefully you'll be able to follow that process and see everything as I'm doing it and learn from my mistakes. Thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. There's more videos coming, like I said, and I'll see you next time.